Welcome back to another episode of our city building series. This episode I want to get the series moving along a bit because I feel like we're quite a few episodes in and we've only just got to Big Town. We've built 2 estates, but this episode I want to completely map off this whole section of island. I want to start zoning it in with some services and stuff because we're starting to earn a little bit of money now, so we can afford to plop down some more services and we can afford to essentially build out this whole section of island. Now we have a highway already running through. It does stop at this little car park, but I want to make it come all the way out to here so we have a connection coming in this way as well, because at the moment it's just like this little intersection which weaves down this way, and so we will need another connection in there, and I'm thinking maybe like we pop a roundabout there, but we also pop one here going up to this roundabout here. And then obviously you'll have the connections from this estate coming all the way through. But I want to give the traffic quite a few options to come through. And so if you are new to this series, last episode, we managed to build, well, this estate. And we've built all the connections coming in and out. We popped in a little roundabout here. And a roundabout on either side of the estate. And this roundabout was from a couple of episodes ago. So our main connection into the city at the moment is still over here, this roundabout, but it hasn't piled up yet, so we're still looking good there. And this was our original estate. We had a little fire burn everything down, but I don't want to delete these car parks because they are custom placed, and they still function. Oh, maybe they don't function. It's okay, we'll just leave them there for now at least. And a couple of our companies are struggling a little bit, so we can turn down commercial by 1% and industrial as well. Hopefully that helps them out a little bit. But we're going to need to get some more resources down soon as well, just to help our financial situation. But we'll go ahead and we'll buy a couple of tiles. So I want to start with this one, those. How much is that going to cost? 56,000. So I can afford, I go down to here, 180. It's a lot of tile upkeep. So how much extra do we have? So that will start to bankrupt us. So maybe if we just work on these 3 at the moment. How come those are 0, but then who knows? So is this going to be 0, 0, and then... Okay, so we'll go for some of the big ones to start with. So we'll go here, and then here as well. That'll cost us 60,000, and we can start placing the road layout. Now I want this to be pretty much just gridded off, because I feel like it is time for a grid. It's been a long time coming. It's time for a grid. But I do also want to flatten the terrain. I want this to be as compact as we can make it without making the traffic horrendous. So we'll level it in line with this, and we'll just take it all the way around. Then we'll soften it later. So if I turn the brush size up to 300, we can just work with that, have it on the back of these houses. We can just completely level off this whole terrain, and then we'll obviously make it look nice when we have the rest of the tiles. But for now, that is our terrain. And if we go ahead and we soften this bit here, and that is our nice flat terrain. So we'll just get started with the grid. So we want a main road system. We'll put it with parking, and we want, we'll put it so that there's a top road here coming down here and then back over to here. So we'll start off with this road here. If I make it like that, we can snap it to the 90 there. Maybe it would be smarter to align it with this first. And if I turn on the surfaces, just get rid of all these farmlands because we are going to be urbanizing. Right, so we grab our roads, we just try our best to line it up to there like that, and then we can bring it all the way down here on a 90, and then we can take it up and across, up again. We'll just bring it down like that, and we can have roads stemming out from that. But our layout will be something along those lines, and this will most likely cause a bit of traffic to start with because all of the traffic's going to flow in through these 2, and we are going to need, I might just for now expand this with anarchy on because we don't have the money to increase this, so we might have to just plop it out like so, which we'll have to do for now. Eventually this will go and we will bring in a what do you call it, an incineration plant, but for now it's going to have to just stay there. Alright, and the connections to here, I want it to split off into 2 one-way roads. So we'll use highways because they do work the best when you're splitting off a road, and we'll turn all of our snapping off. Have the left split off that way, the right split in that way, have it come down here, and then this one can come from this intersection that's already there for us. Oh, it can go into that intersection, sorry, that's the wrong way around. There we go. So those are our connections into that road, and we we could put a roundabout here. I do like myself a roundabout. We'll just see how that functions. And if we take away this crosswalk or pedestrian crossing, whatever you'd like to call it. And then the same with this one. I think we'll have this coming to about here, and we can have a little slip road from here. Will this destroy? It won't. So we can, oh, it's because I've got anarchy on. Yeah, that's fine, like that. We've got a little slip road on there, which again I could turn into a roundabout. There's never any harm in having a roundabout. And then if we bring this 4-lane road up the back here, what's wrong with our electricity? How much are we in deficit for? We are a little bit in deficit, so we'll go ahead and place another one down. Now I've been placing, well, I've placed one over here so far because the wind speed is just better over here, and it's quite far away, but the wind speed over here is terrible. So we've just been leaving it with that. I can bring it over to this roundabout here actually. Yeah, so this is going in, and then we'll have one all the way down here going out, so we want left lane to come round. We'll just put it 1, and then does that let them loop back round? They come off of this left here. It doesn't. That is quite strange, isn't it? You'd think it would let people loop back round to there. So we could place a 2 and have one of them loop back round in case you've missed your turn in and you're not stuck. No, and that does look horrible, so we will just get rid of that. That also looks horrible, so we will, what will we do here? I'm not quite sure. The end of this road, what do I want to do? We could put another entrance here, actually. Yeah, I guess that could work. We can just leave that like that. Now we've got our entrances in, sorted, and we'll have another one from this highway in somewhere over this area here. But for now, that will have to do. And then it's time to start gridding off everything. So we'll start by gridding off here, and then yes, we can just run a road through the center here and make it go all the way to there. That's our first little grids. And if I do the same over here and have it like so, we can pop roundabouts on either one of these. Then we can have an alleyway running through to there. We are losing a little bit of space here, so if I pop this down like that, and then another one like that, and that's all the space covered. But I want to make sure we do actually use all the space. If I pop there, yeah, and that should work for there. We could actually just start zoning in. So I want to get some mixed housing here, and we'll just turn it onto the UK pack because that is the theme. Do I not have, there we go, right, UK mixed housing. So we'll put some mixed in there, then the rest of it, why is it only showing me there's no low density here? Okay, so there is low density here. So we want detached, I think, in this area, and then we can go with terraced in this little section here. And we do need to connect this all up, so we'll just connect it from here to there, and then the pylons, pop them underneath there to there. Right, so that should be that sorted. Yep. Right, and now we need to zone this, or we'll zone this one in first actually. We'll get this showing us how it's going to look. Turn on the UK pack as well again, and we could actually put in some semi-detached because I don't think we've had any semi-detached in a while, and we could put some medium density there, commercial ones there. I guess that can work. And then the rest of this, we can have a road running from this intersection. Nope, that looks horrible. Okay, that will have to do there. Have another one coming off of here and all the way to these houses. If we can snap it to the 90, that would be nice. Yeah, and then we can have it running all the way down to here, and then we can have it actually carry on to there, and then snap it onto there. And can we fit, oh, we can fit terraced here. So if I dezone, where are our terraced here? So if we go like that, we can actually fit terrace there. Perfect, so we've got back-to-back houses there. Then we'll put some alleyways in this gap here. So if we pop you coming up to there, and we can have it follow along with this angle and cut back, but it doesn't want to cut back on the right angle. Right, that will do there, and then it's just filling in this one, so we can pop a road coming down to here and going into there, and then here, pop that out, pop that like that. And now will that be too much space? It won't if I put detached down, but anything else it probably will be too much space. But for now, if we just take an alleyway here, pop this up and down and connect it to there, we can actually have another one coming off there in like a little Y shape, and that does look like way too much space there, but it says it's going to zone, so we'll try zoning detached houses in this whole grid here, and we'll even go up here. How does that look? That looks okay. Right, so we'll get some more mixed ones in the places where they'll fit. There's UK mixed there. We'll put the paint bucket back on, and then we can go with some more terrace. Is there anywhere that can fit terrace? We can go there, go all up here, this section here. We can actually have terraced all along here, and then we go back to our semi-detached. We can fill the rest of the gaps. Semi-detached, pop medium in here. That will fill that gap. And then if we just zone the rest in, but we don't want a house on the roundabout, that's a bit silly. That is another estate done. Right, now we need some services on this end. So we can pop a medical. We only need small. Just pop it here. We'll turn anarchy off so we can delete the house along with it. We'll need an elementary school. I think we'll be alright for a high school, yeah. So we'll need an elementary school, and we'll go with, where is it? Do we want the city one, or do we want, we'll go with this one. We'll pop 2 down. So we'll pop 1 just here, then another one just there. Now we need police. We can get a small station next to the school. And then the fire, we can go the firehouse and pop that on the other side of the school. And we're now low on water, so it might not be a bad idea to grab a water pumping station. Is there any roads that are already built that I can pop it down on? I don't believe there is, so we might have to just put it there and pop a one-way alley off of there. We can loop this back around this roundabout, but that connection should very rarely be used. Oh, never mind, people are going to use it. We can just make this look a bit more natural. It is on a bit of a hill, and try and make it curve around the hill. People are using that to walk along. I'm not sure how smart that is, but that is this all done. Now we could expand off of here. So if we pop roads down at already existing intersections, and we want more than one road coming out to here. So if we pop this one, and we can pop it round like so, and we can pop this out, and we can just zone all this in detached housing. Get their own parking, so they'll be fine there. That's not what I wanted. I've placed terraced. We'll we'll de-zone all that. We'll have to go manually delete it all. I'll grab the delete button. We'll have one little patch on the roundabout. That's okay. So we've got terrace selected. We want detached. There we go. And zone everywhere except for that one on the roundabout, because that does bug me having a house on the roundabout. And then we can come off with an alleyway, say here. We can just go back on the back of these houses. Actually, we can leave this for now. We can just let this settle. Well, yeah, so that's another district done. We will have to start thinking about properly implementing public transport soon, but at the moment, how things stand, we're looking decent. So I did want to get all this done in this episode, but because the permits are going to cost so much to expand to them, I'm thinking maybe I just leave it, because that is going to cost a lot of upkeep. It's money that we don't have at the moment. We've got 246,041 to mess about with, but I do just want to let it build up for a minute, because we do need to implement services as well, so we need enough money to place them down. But I guess that'll be it for this episode. I'll let the city run for a bit. We'll make a bit of money, and then we can start thinking about public transport, getting some trains, trams, a subway, and that might come in the next episode. So if you have enjoyed, consider subscribing and like the video. It does massively help the channel, and I will see you next time.